So, Merseyside Derby just wrapped up 2-2. The last Merseyside Derby at Goodison Park. This is our social media Twitter live reaction post-game. Danilo, what do you think of the game?
I'm so annoyed. I've had it. No, the game was as I had expected it to be. It was intense. It's the final game in Goodison. But I'm more upset with the refereeings. With the refereeing performance, at least. Idrissa Gueye should have been sent off.
Yeah.
Most of the fouls that were accumulated for the red team, that being Liverpool, was disgraceful. The thing that I honestly don't understand, and which really, really, really did my head in, was why is it that they spent 2.5 minutes for two idiots that ran into each other? Then they add that time, which is fine. But then the VAR decision, okay, it was onside. That's a foul on Konate.
It is.
On top of that, why is it that we don't see the time added after the VAR check? Is that not fair?
Right.
Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
So it's not. Is it the best result in the world? No. I'm more upset that I'm worried about the refereeing performance as opposed to a really good game of footy.
Right.
And that's what's been, unfortunately, with Michael Oliver, a frequent occurrence because he's an absolute fucking idiot. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, despite the refereeing issues, it was a miracle that we even came out of this game without a loss. I think the fact that we came out with this with points, I think, is miraculous, to say the least.
Considering the refereeing performance, yes.
Exactly. So, and that just goes to show that this, even with all that, this team is still good enough to compete, even with playing against 12 essentially.
Yeah.
So I mean, there was a big scuffle at the end of the game after the whistle, the final whistle came on. Curtis Jones, I think, has been sent off. Arne Slot got a red. Decore of the Everton side got a red.
We don't know anything about Slot yet, but he looked like he got sent off. I didn't see the notification on my phone, but yeah, that was not a good look.
Yeah.
To be fair, I told you on the live show that we just did, they should have just left. Just walk off the field, talk about it in the locker room. It didn't look good.
But I mean, if you're Curtis Jones, right, as a Scouser, as the hometown
I get it,
boy,
but now we don't have him at the weekend.
Yeah, but we have the depth to fly still. But I think.
But 7 points.
Also, if you're Everton, for you to squeak by like that, given the circumstances, it is also kind of like, what are you doing? You didn't earn this win. You did not win this game.
Yeah, I get it. It's the final game at Goodison, right?
The final Merseyside.
And well, yeah. The final derby at Goodison until they go to their new stadium. So obviously it was going to be highly contested, and it was going to be a very spicy affair. And I do like when they get into scuffles and whatever. But after the game, I don't think that was needed.
Right.
And I don't think it's a good look either, because you need to keep your heads cool when you're competing for a title, right?
But I do think that for the most part...
But it shows that they give a shit, which is nice.
I think for the most part, this Liverpool team has been very level-headed, right? It's been...
Yes.
This is really one of the first times where we've seen them crash out, really.
Yeah.
This season.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they for the most part, haven't had a reason to, really, but because we've been so dominant in wins that it didn't really matter what happened.
Yeah.
But when you almost have a win taken away from you like this, I think he had every right to not. I don't condone the behavior. I just think you're allowed to express yourself. You're allowed to be angry, given the circumstances, I think. And I mean, this isn't to take away from the performances of Virgil van Dijk and Alexis McAllister and Curtis Jones up until the end of that game, towards the end of the game.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think the subs made the difference.
Yeah.
I don't think either team actually played well.
Right.
I think
it was just a slugfest from start to finish.
It was like a boxing fight. Each team was really.
They really wanted it.
They really wanted it, but I don't think each team played well enough to win it, right? I think Liverpool, on the balance of play in the second half, they were better than they were in the first. But still, there were gaps, lapses in concentration. Everton looked dangerous on the break. Like, again, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the TV right now. That Connor Bradley challenge wasn't fucking yellow.
Yeah.
But, again, I don't want to just talk about the refs. I mean, the overall performance was as I expected it to be.
Right.
To be completely honest with you, these guys were going to be up for it. They could have been the worst team in the league. They were going to be up for it. They were going to be up for it, right? Now, my only issue with this is that it's 7 points as opposed to 9.
Right.
Liverpool play Wolves at home this weekend, and if I'm not mistaken, saying Arsenal will be playing. I want to say they're playing away from home. I'm going to pull it up right now. Yeah, they're playing Leicester. Again, Kai Havertz is injured. It looks like he's going to be out for the rest of the season. He looks like he tore his hamstring. That's not great for them. So is this game going to have a detrimental effect on how I think the title race will go until the end of the season? I'm not so sure. But at the same time, it's the Premier League. Right? So Liverpool as well need to play Aston Villa and Manchester City away from home.
Yeah.
And we've seen that City, they are a wounded animal, but they will be up for it. They want to have a say in this, regardless of if they're competing in it or not.
For sure.
So, I don't know. I really don't know. It's frustrating. It's annoying. I'm more annoyed at the ref than anything, than the game. I think a draw, honestly, considering the balance of play, is probably a fair result.
Sure.
But I'm just sick and tired of watching the Premier League and seeing referees make everything about themselves.
Taking over games.
And by the way, whoever was the dickhead that threw the fucking bottle onto the field, don't do that shit.
Yeah.
There's no need to do that.
Yeah.
And look, another thing, as we're watching the television, Arne goes up to the coach, or I'm sorry, to the ref, to Oliver, and says, "Good game." Then sends him off.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I don't understand.
I genuinely don't get it.
So, anyway, credit to Moyes, though. He's getting them playing some...
He's playing some good football there.
Decent. They're still shit.
I know they are.
And I still hope they go down.
Yeah, but, I mean, this changes some of the tides in the title race there. Like, as you said, Liverpool now go up 7 over Arsenal as opposed to 9. It's not a favorable thing going into the weekend, but I believe in this Liverpool team. I think we will persevere and end up winning the league. It should have been.
I think so too.
I feel like this game could have been wrapping up the year. It could have been wrapping up the title race at this point of the time. At this point of the season,
could have been.
It could have been wraps right here.
Yeah.
It would have made it.
I know it's crazy saying that in February, but with the injuries that are accumulating with Arsenal, their inconsistency, I don't think they've won more than 3. I don't think they've won 3 games or more than 3 games in a row this year, which they were doing for the past 2 seasons.
Of course.
Arteta now really has to figure out a way to implement a system where he can get goals from elsewhere, which they've been doing this season. The set pieces have dried up since all of the memes that were happening, right?
Yeah.
They need to start winning games. Like, I think now he has no reason to sit back. I think that they just need to attack. They played some amazing stuff 2 seasons ago. I don't know why he's vouched away from that.
Yeah.
I think that they honestly, weirdly enough, if they were playing more how they were playing 2 years ago,
they would have won.
I think they would have actually been
in the lead right now.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I really do believe that. I think that he's second guessing himself too much. Now he has an opportunity to really put things right and to really claw back.
I mean, this season should be the season where he goes balls to the wall, right? Like, City are crumbling.
They have nothing to lose.
They have nothing to lose. And honestly, this is when you pounce on that opportunity if you're Arsenal.
Yes,
with City being your only main competitor, getting in your way year in and year out to win the league, with them being as wounded as they have been. This should have been the season where you should be the 7 points clear at the top of the league, not Liverpool.
I agree.
Well, not to take anything away from Liverpool.
Not at all.
It's just...
But no one expected them to be this good.
No one expected them
and if
to
you
be
did,
this good.
Props to you.
Yeah, but Arsenal were supposed to be better.
Yes,
Which they have not been.
I had them winning it this season.
But then also, you can also say that we've seen flashes of this, right, from Arsenal in years past, right? Bottling up big games and losing to teams where they shouldn't have, and accepting draws and 1 points, throughout a year because they felt so confident that City were going to drop something or Liverpool was going to drop points or something. They always relied on everyone else and not just take the bull by the horns and win the games on their own.
Not exactly. Not to discredit that they also just beat the piss out of Manchester City 5-1.
No, for sure. But it's also like in years past, like, remember last year they had the draw at the end of the year against City and they were celebrating. Oh, we just drew to City. And then, City ends up sealing the league the game or two after.
Yep.
So it's like Arsenal have relied too much on everyone else's results because they fall short on their own results. You know what I mean?
I think that, I would say if you're betting on luck to carry you to the end, it's not going to happen.
Mm-mm.
So now Arteta has been gifted an opportunity to
right now
figure this out. Now, if, for example, if Liverpool, which I think they will beat Wolves at home, right?
They should.
If Leicester get them to draw, then this game doesn't really matter, this draw. And Liverpool play Everton away, or I'm sorry, again, at home. In 4 or 5 weeks, right? Yeah. So
I'm expecting that game.
That game is going to be a fiery game.
It's gonna be an insane matchup. I'm expecting Liverpool to come out 10 times. That'll probably be the game that Liverpool wants to win the most.
That and City.
Whoa! Now, given what happened after this game, I think Arne Slot's gonna come out with a whole new motivation, and it's like this
should galvanize them.
It should, but
they should galvanize.
Honestly,
it should galvanize both teams, which I think will make the title race more interesting.
But for me, like honestly, like going into that scuffle at the end of the game, post game, like Liverpool has no reason to be upset at Everton. Right, like Everton really didn't do anything.
No.
It was only after what occurred post game, that now Liverpool has a reason to be upset.
Yes, I mean we said this in the beginning of the show, right? Which was the game will be played in Liverpool's favor if Everton play expansive, right? Which they're trying to do with David Moyes, right? I told you they're playing a box midfield. I would have never thought I would see that at Goodison, right? He's trying to implement something a little more proactive and a little more to get the best out of the attacking talent, which they don't really have, but they're trying to get the best out of it, right? Decore is your 10. He's not a fucking 10. He's terrible as a 10.
Yeah.
But, no, again, on the balance of play, it's probably the best. I don't think Liverpool were good today. I don't think Everton were great either. I think Everton defended better. I think that what my only question to Slot for his team selection today was, why are we playing Luis Diaz as a striker? It was smart in the earlier stages of the season.
Right.
I don't think it works how it was working earlier. I think it's easier, and I think we played way too narrow in the first half. We weren't using the width.
I think teams have just figured it out, I think.
Just play Nunez. Play Jota. Jota, if he's healthy, I think he should start.
Yeah.
Right? Nunez is great to come off the bench and change things up a little bit and make the opposition defenders maybe second guess themselves, because he does put 110% in his pressing game and whatnot. But
for sure,
we looked better when Jota came on the field.
For sure.
And I hope Gakpo's injury is not bad, because that's gonna
hurt.
A big bummer.
It is, but that's gonna do it for us on the social media post game show. Once again, 7 points now clear. Liverpool over Arsenal going into the weekend. Arsenal will play Leicester.
Yeah.
Liverpool will play Wolves at home. So, poorly officiated, but nonetheless, we came out with a result.
It was highly entertaining as a neutral.
It was 100%. If you're a neutral fan, you love this game. But
if you're an Arsenal fan, you love this game.
If you're an Everton fan, even I don't know how you could look at that and be like,
you ended on a high.
It's the last derby at Goodison Park. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us, and we'll catch you guys next time.